Hello, welcome back to Chephan. For those of you who don't know, former Quickie channel, now trying to branch out a little bit. But, I was thinking earlier today, and I thought a good way to spice up the channel would be to make a whole new segment. And so, what better than an idea than, Minecraft gameplay while some schmuck talks over it? Because those videos seem to do pretty well. But, this series I think I'm gonna call, Stefan Sermons or something. Maybe that's not the best thing to call it, but we'll see. I guess my idea was sort of just gonna talk my unfiltered thoughts while I play on this brand new Minecraft world. It's gonna be the same world every time because I've never actually finished the Minecraft world before, and I think this would be a pretty good time to do it. So, every time I want to make a video, I get on here, talk about a couple things while playing some Minecraft. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, I guess I have a few things. But the first thing I was thinking about today that I definitely wanted to make a video on before I knew I was gonna make the segment. I wanted to talk a little bit about creativity as a concept. Now, I think one of the most important things to remember is that in this day and age, anyone can be a creative. It doesn't really take a lot of time. One day someone can get up and be like, I'm gonna teach myself how to draw. And if they keep at it for like a month or two, they'll be in a pretty decent spot. It's happened many times where even like a month of progress like yields such positive results. Or a person can pick up a pencil and paper and be like, I'm gonna write a poem or a short story. And you don't even have to like delve too deep into like writing and poetry culture in order to be good at poetry. It's not really a hard medium to get into. More so one to master. Now, I guess the reason I was thinking about creativity a lot today was because I guess as I grow older, I'm beginning to notice a lot of people in my age group losing their creative spark, which I guess it sounds a bit pretentious to say, but I have my reasons. I guess for starters, and I don't know if certain people watching this are necessarily going to agree, but it's my opinion and I don't really have to cater to anyone, so I guess I'll just say, I think AI is making people less creative. Now, there are a lot of issues with AI as it stands, environmental, intellectual, but I think one of the major concerns for me, at the very least, is that people, because of AI, they can sort of just click a button, type in a prompt, and it'll create whatever they want for them. And because of that, they don't really feel the need to make art anymore. I mean, I guess this is a bit of a out of left field example, but still in the field of relevancy. With the advent of character AI and people being able to talk to their favorite characters, people who write stories based off of other, universes probably are gonna be out of a market because people are just gonna be like, oh, why would I read a fanfic when I could just talk to my favorite characters on character AI? Or a person who is looking for an art job and they're like, oh cool, this video game in development needs art. They're gonna be really hurt to find out that they're not getting hired because an AI is making all the game's visuals. I mean, it's even happened in modern gaming. Expedition 33 won Game of the Year, and immediately afterwards it was revealed that AI was utilized in its development for the art. Now, I will say, I think Expedition 33 is a bit up in the air because all those AI models were removed before the game's released in place of actual human-drawn ones. But I think the point still stands. There were artists who were definitely willing to make those human-drawn concepts, and you chose to use AI over them. Is that not a bit scummy? Now, I know I'm talking about drawn art as the main subject, but this applies to all other art forms as well, from photography to writing to all sorts of things. Maybe even cooking. You see those YouTube shorts where it's like, can AI bake a better cookie than me? And the recipes are off, the measurements are off, and everything's wrong. And I think that while I do see what people see in AI, a tool that can just tell you whatever you need to know and help you at a moment's notice, I think it's more important to understand that the negatives to AI absolutely outweigh the benefits. You know, you're burning down more and more of the earth so you can, generate a picture of a unicorn dancing when people have been editing and drawing photos of that for ages. You have people having, ChatGPT tell you all the answers to your homework, and thus you're not really understanding anything. And it's just a whole hassle and an ordeal. And I guess as a person who loves to create art myself, it's a bit disheartening seeing people in my life fall deeper and deeper into AI, even if they don't necessarily mean to use it to harm others or to, pollute the planet. But at the end of the day, that still is what it's doing. And I think that's a very important thing to recognize, not only for the sake of the world, the sake of the people around you, but for the sake of yourself. You don't want to sit around and not know the answer to something, and instead of working through it yourself intellectually, or, looking it up on Google, because Google's still a thing, instead you're going to go straight to ChatGPT and be like, ChatGPT, what is the length of a ruler? It's just going to make you not think as much. You're not going to think as much. You're not going to work as much. And at the end, as much as it sounds like a thing a conspiracy theorist would say in a disaster movie, it'll take over your job. It really will. It'll take over most facets of your life, and I don't think anyone wants that. So, for your sake, if you're thinking of drawing, or you're having a project to get done, there are so many ways around it, so many ways around whatever difficulty you're having that don't involve using AI. I promise, the effort will absolutely save your life in the future, and developing that worth ethic will too. So, I guess that was my first topic. I don't really know where I want to go with this second one, but another thing I was thinking about earlier today was identity. I think the topic of identity is a bit dense, to say the least. It's not just a thing that, you can sum up in one word, but I guess the specific thing I was thinking of identity were masks. People putting on, facades around others to appear a certain way when they're not really that way. And I guess my thought process was, I think everyone in a way puts on a facade. People wake up in the morning and they go to work, and whether or not they like the people around them or they get along with the people in their circle, they are cordial. They look at them, they say hi, wave. Some people make small talk, some people don't. But I guess I just thought it was interesting. I feel like there's a secret side to a lot of people that not many people know about. I think this of everyone. Everyone has at least some facet of themselves that they don't show other people. And that thing doesn't necessarily need to be humongous. It doesn't need to be a grand secret, oh, I murdered my father, or I robbed a bank when I was in high school, or whatever. It's it doesn't need to be that major. But I think in a sense, people hide hobbies and interests from others. And in a way, I do the same thing. I'm into a lot of things that I think a lot of people would find corny and cringe these days. And I don't really talk about it too much. But I know a lot of other people do too. I know a lot of other people definitely have that one thing that they don't talk about it because they're afraid of what people will react. And that's really sad to me because at least for my age group, when we were a lot younger, we kind of just said what was on our minds, just let it out for the whole world to see. Oh, I like this thing, or oh, I'm a big fan of this thing. And I guess to see people grow more closed off and more sheltered, and because of that, lack the ability to share what they're passionate about, it makes me upset. You know, I'm not a naive person, uh, so I know I'm being for real when I say that I think the world would be a lot better if people decided it was okay to just let the subjects of their heart flow free for the world to see. Let your interests, the things you create, the things you love, the things you consume, let it share it with others. And if they don't respect you, or they make fun of you for being into certain things, then maybe those people just weren't meant to be around you in the first place. At least that's what I think. I guess that's my second point. I don't think I have a... Oh! I don't think I have a third one for today. But, yeah, those were my two thoughts that I had today. And who knows, maybe I'll be back next week, tomorrow, with another cheeky little thought that I had to share into the internet. So, thanks a lot for your guys'... Did I capture... Oh, man, it's captured outside. But thanks a lot for listening, tuning in. And I hope you have a great evening, or morning, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye-bye.